I'm going to keep today's solo really short. It's incredibly loud. I'm on a boat going through Halong Bay in Vietnam, so I don't want to annoy you guys with all the extra sounds. But I wanted to talk a little bit today about something that I've been learning on this trip, which is the importance of not sticking to your ideas too much and being willing to change your mind and learn and not being too confident in your beliefs. Throughout this trip, I've got the opportunity to meet people from around the world, people from incredibly different social classes and economic classes, and with very different perspectives. People who wake up and have to fish to eat, people who don't have light, people who don't have bathrooms in the same, in the same convenience that we do, or that I do at least. And people who've had life experiences that I couldn't have in my wildest dreams. And I think something that I've really learned from this is, you have all these set ideas that you learn throughout your life, and some of them are very important to stick to your guns. Some of them you have to be willing to be wrong and to change your mind and to learn from others. And that's really what I've gotten out of this trip, is this experience where I'm going through areas that don't have the convenience of life that I do, yet they have happiness that I strive for, that I search for. And the importance of listening and asking questions and being okay with being wrong. There's so many ideas that I've had over the past 26 years that I've been alive, that in my head at the time I was like, okay, I understand where I'm at and I'm not switching. I'm 100% correct. And then you come to places like this and you start learning about other people's cultures and understanding that things are different, and being wrong about people, being wrong about your perspective on life. And I've had to make this switch where I'm become more fluid with my thoughts. I'm okay with abandoning an idea that is no longer relevant to my situation. Abandoning an idea because I listened to other people and understood their perspective, and maybe they were on the correct side of it and I wasn't. Maybe those will continue to change, and I'm open to that now. And I think what I've really learned from this experience is how important it is to be open to ideas and new thoughts and new ways of life, and how that can affect your creation process as a creative, as a musician, as an artist. And how everything isn't going to always work out properly, but some things do not lead to this new big idea, and that's okay. And some things lead to these small little steps that are incremental and become this big new way of thinking, this idea. And I don't know, maybe I'm just ranting here, but this trip has been one of the most life-changing experiences that I could have never imagined. I didn't have the correct opportunities in my life to understand what this would do for me and how important it is as a creative. And don't get me wrong, I'm excited to go home and work hard and create, but I'm also excited to not create for a minute and to be open to these new possibilities and these new concepts and these new ways of thought that will become my vessel to new forms of creation and new forms of thought. And I think that as a podcaster, as a host, this is super important to me because I've had experiences that, in the United States feel very different than it does for people in other cultures. And I feel like I've gained a new form of expression. I understand that people live so differently, and in a way that like the classes here are so widely different than in the United States. And I've realized that you don't need everything to have everything. You know, these people who live in these small fishing villages, and what they catch is what they have to eat, and that is it. These people who live up in the mountains, and I went in this trek through these cornfields that are 9,000 feet up in the air, in these rice paddy fields where you have to walk on these small little ridges, or else you ruin something that they work so hard for, and it causes them to not be able to eat. And I don't really know where I'm going with this, but this experience of travel and this experience of going outside of your comfort zone and being the minority, being the outside, has been the most eye-opening experience of my life. And for the first time in my life, I'm not in control of everything that is on the western side of the world and in the United States. And for the first time, I'm not, you know, if I don't have internet and I don't have Wi-Fi, I cannot answer messages. I can't get calls. I can't answer comments. I can't upload at the correct times. And there's things that I'm really working on becoming more fluid with. But I'm also realizing how important it is to give yourself goals to hit, and to keep moving forward and never be stagnant. And that doesn't have to mean constantly doing. That can be this form of just keeping your eyes and ears open to consistently learn and grow as a human being. I urge everybody out there who would like to open up their world to travel. I know that sounds crazy, that it seems like this very expensive thing, and it can be, but in this case it's not. And I urge everybody to see the world, because there's a lot of lessons that you can't learn without going outside of your comfort zone. This was, I know, a kind of a rambling segment, and it's loud and it's a lot, but this is it. I love you guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for staying with us, and I'll see you next time.